Hello, and welcome back to the dangerous world of ergo-proxy. Humanoid robots have been created to assist humanity, but they've started contracting the cogito virus, which gives them the power to think for themselves. Riel gets assigned to investigate this weird phenomenon, but she uncovers things much more horrible as she starts digging deeper. Make sure to subscribe and like for more. In a research facility, robots under Daedalus Humano experiment on a creature that escapes, moving faster than the eye can see. Vincent Law wakes up, crashes his vehicle, and has a vision while in Ramdia. Raul Krieg cancels his schedule for a level ultimate intelligence disclosure as Vincent chases and kills an infected robot, but is attacked and knocked out by a large machine. Daedalus informs the Regent and the Collective about the creature's escape, and in another alley, the creature kills someone, leaving a bloody handprint, classic horror move. The next morning, Iggy drives Riel Mayer to work, and they discuss recent security searches and murders before Riel reviews Vincent's report. At the robot disposal facility, Vincent prepares for a meeting with Riel, who advises him on becoming a citizen. They inspect an infected robot and reflect on the cogito virus, while Raul and Kristiva report the proxy's escape with orders to capture it. Riel and Iggy investigate an abandoned facility, encountering a creature and a praying robot named Mary. So he fights the creature, but is interrupted by another large machine. Vincent investigates an infected robot named Pino, as Raul asks for permission to kill the proxy, causing the Collective to hesitate. Riel examines the proxy's handprint. Vincent leaves after inspecting Pino, and Riel returns home, finding Awakening on her mirror before a masked creature suddenly attacks her, but the proxy intervenes, leading to a battle outside, after which Riel faints from shock. Riel Mayer looks at mugshots to find her attacker, insisting it was a monster, not a person, but the inspectors doubt her and suggest she's stressed and delusional. They tell her Vincent Law was found unconscious near her apartment, and suspect him of stalking her, average Twitter user, after seeing a woman in real life. Raul Krieg forces Riel to get a psychological evaluation to discredit her monster story, and at Daedalus Humano's office, she sneaks into his computer and learns about proxies. Her grandfather orders her to stop investigating proxies and threatens to demote her, so she examines the surveillance images and discovers there are two proxies. At the mall, Monad proxy attacks, killing Raul's wife. Vincent runs, shooting at Monad, causing chaos and many deaths, including the baby, after which Riel finds a necklace in her apartment, realizing Vincent's connection as he confidently faces Monad. A train speeds along the tracks with an unconscious Vincent dreaming of holding the proxy necklace, tears falling on it. He sees a proxy's shadow and missiles launching, but as he is about to see the proxy's face, he suddenly wakes up with blood on his hands and a call on his pager. Riel investigates Vincent, but finds nothing concrete, noticing that he has high-level database access. Vincent, searching for Autorave Dorothy, finds her beheaded and escapes after being attacked. Riel confronts Vincent, but they are interrupted by the security division. Pino opens a door to the outside, and Vincent is sucked out before Riel promises him immunity, but he falls and says it's over. He wakes up in the immigrant sector, cared for by Pino and Hoodie, who says Vincent caught a virus, slept for 10 days, and now finds himself outside Ramdo, a commune of exiles. Vincent, feeling depressed, misses Ramdo as Riel. Since Vincent's arrival, armed surveillance drones have increased at the commune and one person was killed, causing the commune to turn hostile toward Vincent. They nearly attack him, but Hoodie steps in with a lie, claiming that he's a revolutionary warrior negotiating for the commune's autonomy. Most believe him except Quinn. While Pino plays with Quinn's son Timothy, the commune waits for the supposed negotiator. Surprisingly, Riel arrives to take Vincent back and warns of an oncoming sweep operation by Ramdo. Vincent hesitates to leave, and a drone attacks, injuring Riel as he falls off a cliff, transforming into a proxy to save himself and destroy the drone. Riel, now certain Vincent is linked to the proxies, takes his unconscious body back and dies to a virus, while Pino shows Quinn Timothy's body, shot by a drone. The commune is tense as they prepare for the sweep operation meant to kill them. Most plan to leave on the Rabbit, a ship Quinn has been building, but Vincent is confused between the very sick Riel. She briefly wakes up to find Vincent, but quickly passes out from the fever. Hootie is depressed and doesn't intend to leave since he also has to tell Pino that Timothy is dead. Quinn, unstable after losing her son, tells Vincent and Riel to escape with her in exchange for a vaccine to cure Riel. Hootie reveals the vaccine is fake and Vincent survived due to natural resistance, so the only way to save Riel is to return to Romdeau. My man is just built different. Outside Romdeau, most commune members are killed trying to flee, including Quinn, but Vincent, Pino, and the remaining commune members journey to Mosque where the harsh conditions kill the last two humans. Riel wakes up in Daedalus Hospital and searches for answers. She discovers the womb room, where artificial wombs grow new citizens. Daedalus explains this controlled process is vital for survival in dome cities and reveals proxies, including modded proxy from Mosque Dome, have immortal Amrita cells crucial for humanity's survival. Riel, unknowingly modified with these cells, is an experiment called Riel 124C41. Daedalus saves Iggy from reprogramming as Riel and Daedalus are attacked by autoreives with the Cogito virus sent to kill her. Despite their efforts, Riel is seriously injured and Daedalus writes Riel's death certificate. With food running out and no sign of Mosque, Vincent faces dying in the wilderness with only Pino, and they encounter a conflict between humans and autoreives. The humans, soldiers from Charos led by Commander Pedical, fight night-like autoreives from Azura, and after winning, the humans take in Vincent and Pino, offering food in exchange for Vincent's help in their war against autoreives. Unwilling to fight, Vincent is falsely accused of killing Charos soldiers and imprisoned, but Sinex Proxy is the real murderer. Vincent and Pino meet a prophetic woman in prison, and he painfully transforms into his proxy form and battles Sinex Proxy, defeating her. Casquez finds the aftermath impressed, while Pino questions him and Vincent lies unconscious. Give him a break, guys. He just transformed into someone different and won a 1v1. Vincent wakes up in a fancy tower in Azura, a massive dome city, and meets Casquez Hauer, who saved him from the Charos disaster, leaving them as the only survivors. Despite Casquez's kindness, Pino is worried, and while exploring, she finds inactive autoreives, which shows that the Azuras were involved in the Charos War. During their conversation, Casquez's intentions are unclear, especially when he admits his love for Sinex Proxy, as Vincent discovers that he is also a proxy with complex feelings. Casquez accuses him of killing Sinex. The news of Riel Mayer's supposed death, the confiscation of the proxy's corpse, and Daedalus' removal as head of the Health Bureau have stirred things up. Raul experiences a shift in his mindset. After a tense meeting with the collective, Raul injures his hand by punching a mirror before the power suddenly goes out. Upon investigating, Raul asks Daedalus about it, and he confesses to causing the blackouts to steal power. Daedalus also reveals that Riel survived and the Regent was involved in the plot to assassinate her before Raul proposes a deal with Daedalus, offering the Monad Proxy's corpse in exchange for loyalty. Meanwhile, Riel and Iggy discover an abandoned dome city and run into a mysterious girl resembling Riel, who suddenly faints, later dismissing it as a strange dream before leaving with Iggy. In the misty wastelands, Vincent searches for Pino and the Sensen ship, and he comes across the City Lights bookstore by chance. Inside, he meets a mysterious old man who offers him tea and suggests Vincent explore the books, all titled Vincent Law, but empty. This reveals the state of Vincent's mind, with his alter ego, Ergo Proxy, and the bookkeeper. As Ergo Proxy explores Vincent's memories and discusses philosophy, Vincent thinks deeply with his true self. Despite the bookkeeper's efforts to intervene, Ergo Proxy keeps going until Vincent accepts who he is, like my boy, Kaneki from Tokyo Ghoul. When he snaps back to reality, he finds himself near the ship with Pino and sees that the bookstore has disappeared. A while later, Riel and Iggy arrive, surprising him as he initially thinks she's just a dream. Riel asks Vincent about the proxies and is shocked to discover he's one of them. Unsure of her next move, she goes with Vincent and Pino to a broken-down dome city covered in moss. Riel decides to stay with Vincent until she uncovers the truth. Meanwhile, Pino runs into the Autorave and a proxy in the caves. Seeing Vincent transform into Ergo Proxy, Riel decides to eliminate the enemy proxy instead of shooting him and remains committed to uncovering the mysteries, despite Vincent's growing anger and hate. Following Riel's instructions, Iggy leaves on his journey to Romdeau with the proxy's body. However, he's stopped by the harsh winter conditions and inner chaos. He runs into the dead proxy's Autorev companion, who infiltrates the ship and decides to return the proxy's body to the Autorave. Meanwhile, Riel, Vincent, and Pino gather firewood in the blizzard as Riel inspects the Sensen ship, where Iggy injures her and places her in the preservation casket. Wow, this guy really likes jumping to extremes. After waking up, Riel confronts Iggy, who rudely promises to safeguard her and bring her back to Romdeau. Going to confront Vincent, he plans to use the gun capable of killing a proxy, but he predicts Vincent may harm Riel, so Vincent disarms him and he decides to retreat. Meanwhile, the Autorev companion suddenly self-destructs, so Iggy sacrifices himself to shield Riel. Vincent, Riel, and Pino arrive at Ophelia. They leave Ophelia, and despite Riel's initial behavior, she responds warmly to Vincent's gratitude for recognizing him. MCQ, a proxy, captures Riel and Pino, forcing Vincent into a life-or-death trivia game in which he must score 1 million points in 30 minutes to win freedom. Otherwise, he faces death. The game is broadcast worldwide, catching the attention of Raul and Daedalus in Romdeau. The quiz provides information about the Ergo Proxy universe, explaining humanity's post-ecological crisis situation, the Proxy Project, and introducing Proxy. What is this knockoff? Who wants to be a millionaire doing in this world? Despite the odds, Vincent succeeds, but not before MCQ reveals an image of Proxy 1. Riel wakes up to find Vincent still sleeping. She goes about her usual morning routine, brushing her teeth quietly, and goes outside with Pino to check out their surroundings, only to discover that they're in a deserted place with nothing around. While Riel looks over their decreasing supplies, Pino keeps herself entertained as Vincent wakes up to find her playing with Riel's makeup, which annoys Riel, and she decides to write about it in her diary. Riel spends her time observing Vincent's carefree behavior and tries cooking but ends up spilling noodles in frustration. Riel also finds Vincent's stash of socks and scolds him for leaving the toilet seat up. Hey, I don't think that's what you all should be worrying about in this situation. As days go by, Riel and Vincent have failed attempts at being productive and run into weird situations, like Vincent's useless attempts to control the wind. Despite her irritation, Riel finds some relief in seeing the aurora, and when the wind finally comes, her diary pages get blown away as they continue their journey. In Romdeau, Raul Creed undergoes a drastic change from a respected security chief to a violent extremist. He becomes increasingly frustrated with the secretive regent in the womb room from Daedalus, disgusted even more, adding to his instability. Overwhelmed by visions of Vincent Law and consumed by thoughts of hopelessness, Raul starts looking into Rapture, a powerful weapon. Meanwhile, Vincent's group heads towards Mosque, but they get sidetracked searching for Pino in a sealed cave. Inside, they encounter weak humanoid creatures adapted to toxic gases. Back in Romdeau, Raul confronts the collective, accusing them of the citizen's imprisonment before he's dismissed and stripped of his authority, turning him into an enemy of the state. So he plans the launch of Rapture, a powerful missile. As he plays the piano at his home, not all people are born evil-ass moment right here. Vincent and his group arrive at Mosque to find it destroyed while Raul gets interrogated in Romdeau, but surprisingly gains leniency when he says he wants to resist the world's decline. Riel and Pino explore Monet's former throne room, while Vincent revisits the rabbit ship and collapses. Raul tells Daedalus to develop a means for humanity to survive without proxies and encounters a girl resembling young Riel, part of Daedalus' project. Vincent, Pino, and Riel discover encoded memories, hinting at a return to Ramdo, while Daedalus cares for the new Riel and Raul, now back in power, faces his hallucinations of Vincent with confidence. Pino wakes up in a junkyard and meets Arl and Pull, who are from Smileland and are looking for its creator, Will Be Good. Roji, a sarcastic cricket, tells Pino to join him to find Good, hoping he knows where Vincent and Riel are. While exploring a park similar to Disneyland, Pino sees posters about the world's end and meet Good, who admits he kept people in the dark about the world's end. Pino refuses to stop Vincent from coming, showing her genuine smile among the many fake ones. Good, upset, confesses to manipulating Pino against Ergo Proxy before Pino's action saves a city from destruction. Vincent wakes up in Riel's body in Ramdo. Swen senses his presence in Riel and explains Riel's dissociative identity disorder caused by guilt. Vincent considers fading from Riel's mind to save her, but she suggests sharing Vincent's past, even if it's fictional, to stabilize Riel. Pino frees Vincent, who transforms into Ergo Proxy, for revenge before Swan urges Vincent to kill the imagined Riel, but he refuses, realizing she's a proxy. What an insane plot twist, am I right, guys? Never saw that one coming. Ergo Proxy attacks Riel, ending the dream, and Vincent wakes up aboard the Sensen ship, relieved. Pino wakes up alone on the Sensen ship after possibly more than 3 weeks, finding Ramdo in chaos. The Cogito virus is spreading among autoreives, and humans are trapped indoors, reliant on their robotic helpers. While Pino looks for Vincent and Riel, meanwhile, Riel goes through the chaotic city, sends Riel to her grandfather, Donov Meyer, exposing the city's dark reality, but Ergo Proxy confronts Donov. While Riel rushes to step in, Raul Creed emerges with an FP gun, ready to bring an end to the chaos. Ergo Proxy sacrifices his own arm to escape the deadly FP rays, regrowing it swiftly before chasing after Raul with the intention to kill him. Beside her deceased grandfather, Riel ponders her next move when suddenly the white-clad Riel clone, claiming to be Monad, appears. Daedalus steps in, sending the clone back to the lab. Ergo Proxy returns to face Riel, but she decides not to shoot, declaring that she is free from manipulation. She exposes Proxy One's influence, leading them to the Regent's Tower, where Proxy One is waiting. Proxy One says he's confident in winning and reveals that he manipulated Daedalus to destroy Ramdo, while Riel rushes to check on the crumbling city. Ergo Proxy and Proxy One decide to talk. Daedalus informs Riel about Ramdo's fate. The clone Riel suddenly appears. Riel flies towards Ergo Proxy and Proxy One. Daedalus dies under rubble. As Ergo and Proxy One are battling, Riel steps in, urging them to stop, so Proxy One gives in, transferring the world's fate to Ergo, who Riel hugs before vanishing with him. Meanwhile, Pino, Kristiva, and Riel escape the crumbling city. Ergo observes the old humanity's return,